Hi everyone, it's Tessa and Stephanie of The Uncommon Creative. Today we are actually going to interview Steph all about her role at the conference, which is September 22nd to 24th of 2018 in Niagara-on-the-Lake. It feels weird not to be beside one another, eh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why don't you tell us what you're presenting at the conference? We'll start there.
I will be actually presenting on newborns at this conference. So I believe I'm doing a keynote, and that one will be on newborn physiology and settling, as well as safety. Because I think it's a pretty important topic for people to know about. And then I will be doing 2 demonstration classes as well. One of those is posing with parents, because I have a strong belief that babies belong in parents' arms. And it's really nice to get that, relational image in their session. But some people find it difficult. So I'll be covering that. And then the other demonstration that we're doing is all about wrapping.
Okay, so on the topic of newborn safety, you are the co-founder of APMPI, which is, why don't you explain, actually?
APMPI is an association for newborn photographers, and I have been working on it for about 2 years now, but it debuted last May. So along with my partner, Kara Broughton, we've been putting it together, and it's basically an organization that helps to disseminate safety information for photographers, but also offer opportunities for certification in things like your qualified newborn photographer certification. We are going to soon be opening up our accreditations. So there are lots of different categories for accreditation. And then you can also work towards designations. So super excited, lots of development happening over there. and APMPI will be a sponsor at the Uncommon Creative Collective.
It will be, yes.
Yeah, fairly excited.
Awesome. You guys have done so much work on that, and I think it's such a really wonderful organization to have in our industry. I think it plays a very important role, and you have always been such a strong ambassador for safety in particular. So I think, it was only natural that, of course, you would open the conference speaking to that, as it's something that obviously is really important to you. Why does your background sort of lend itself to being sort of a
safety conscious?
Yeah, safety conscious, but also, I think it's even more than that, though. You're sort of like a figurehead in the industry for that role.
I think just because before I was a photographer, I was a physiotherapist. So I trained in evidence-based physiotherapy at McMaster University, and it's a center where they really believe in lifelong learning and in evidence that is proper evidence, not just evidence like, well, my experience is this, so it's fine. It really teaches you to dig deeper and look for risks and sort of better protocols to follow. And so I think that, and my underlying understanding of the human anatomy. I went through human kinetics as an undergraduate with a focus on pediatric population, and graduated in honors BSc in that, and then headed into a master's of physiotherapy. And while you can't specialize in physiotherapy, I did spend a lot of time working in peds. It just always was of interest to me, and putting 2 and 2 together, seeing these newborn babies who have such prominent reflexes, and understanding reflexes from traumatic brain injury and the umbrella of cerebral palsy, it kind of just resonated with me that there's a lot more to a newborn than just using them like Play-Doh. They're human beings. So I think that just led me to want to research more, understand more, interview medical practitioners who work daily with newborns. So not medical practitioners who don't have any experience with babies, or who have, minor experience with babies, but people who are actually working like in NICUs. So they're seeing the newborn baby, on a daily basis. So I think it's really important that you focus and you work with people, or you learn from people who, are immersed in that subject matter. So for me, compiling information and resources for learning about newborn safety and what are the precautions we should be taking, and what are the things we should be watching out for. That all came from working with other medical professionals, not myself. Even though I have the background, I went and interviewed others because I felt that they would have a better understanding than I would.
Yeah. Well, and I think the industry has undoubtedly benefited from you doing that legwork. Speaking of that, it's information that you've now delivered to an international stage as well through all of your work in South America.
Yeah, I've really seen the influence in South America. A lot of the photographers there. I think I was the first international to go, and was recommended by another Brazilian because she had taken my course and seen the information and thought that it was needed down there. And so they really have taken off with it. I mean, people who write books and about newborn photography, they always kind of include some of the information that I disseminated over there, and it's really nice to see.
So one of the other topics you're presenting on is wrapping.
My
What do you
favorite.
love about wrapping? Why does that help you in your sessions?
Oh, wrapping is such a great addition to your workflow, because sometimes when babies arrive, if they're awake, you can really settle them quickly by wrapping. And, there's ways that you can do it so that you can create diversity in your gallery, and without disturbing the baby too much. You can go through, 2 to 3 or 4, even sometimes, different looks with them. It makes it safer for posing within the props, if you plan to do that. And it keeps that startle reflex at bay, because their arms are nice and tucked in usually. And the other thing I like about wrapping is that a lot of people have some difficulty with it. So you'll get these Houdini babies who you start wrapping and like, how are they breaking out? I don't know, but I do know actually, and I have a couple of tips that I always include, and I've had a lot of feedback from the students about that, and how much it has helped.
There are so many different wrapping techniques, so it'll be great for people to see them firsthand, because it's one thing to see them, but then just in an image, but to actually be able to dissect it and figure out how you got from point A to the finished product, it's sort of it's really eye-opening. I find, even like, we've worked together for so long, but when you do a new one, I notice, obviously, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how that happened. Yeah.
There are some tricks for sure.
Absolutely.
Babies love it, parents love it, I love it. It keeps the babies happy. And if you can wrap them at the beginning of the session and settle them into a really nice deep sleep state, then you're golden for the rest of it.
Yeah. Or sometimes you just keep them wrapped.
That too, yes. There are those babies.
You don't have to. I have to.
Oh, don't kid yourself. Every one of us has had that baby,
What warms your heart about parent posing?
Well, I mean, it's really emotive, right? Like, I'm not a mushy person for the most part, but I will tell you that emotion sells. Emotion sells above anything else. So typically when people are looking at their gallery, if you are all-inclusive, you might not actually know which items people are most drawn to. But if you've ever done IPS, or in-person sales, you become really aware of what people's preferences are. And even when parents tell me that they don't want to be in the photos, and then I gently sort of coerce them to get in there, and I'll teach you all about how to do that, how to get them in the images, because they always buy them. They always do. I think people worry a lot more than they need to. And there's just something that's so natural about a mom holding their baby, and snuggling with them, and you get a lot of emotion out of them at that point. You can take that first family portrait, which really does symbolize this big change in these people's lives, right? Like, it's a massive change to your family structure. For me, that arrival of my first baby was really that big bonding moment in my life where I hadn't had the marriage. I hadn't had that, that moment that glues you together to somebody else. And she was the tie that was going to forever keep us together. Right. So like it or not, I guess it worked out. We're still together now, 10 years married. So
it's all good. It's all good. All right, Stephanie, it's been great talking to you today. It's weird being on the other end here, but a little bit, right? But we're looking so forward to next September, I know that. And anybody that signs up for your classes is going to be in for a world of information, because you're always such a giver when it comes to the information that you have, and can't wait.
Thanks. I'm super excited too.
Bye.
Join us September 22nd to the 24th, 2018 in beautiful Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario for the Uncommon Creative Collective, Canada's Family Photography Conference.
Me interview you or you interview me?
Sure. I don't know.
Which one?
Oh, yes.
What's a Stephanie fun fact? Something I don't even know.
I can do a crazy thing with my eyes. So like I have weird...
Oh! No! What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
I was trying to teach my kids, it's really not that hard. You look at your nose and then look that way and then look at your nose and then look that way.
Is it working? No.
Barely no. Fussy babies, happy babies, wrapping is just the bomb.